Let's make some caribou jerky. Caribou can be very gamey, and one way to sort of help with that is by soaking it in salt water. So that is what I just did here. Now we're going to fill this back up with cold water and put in our jerky slices. I like to use this knife when I'm cleaning my meat or when I'm out in the woods or in the mountains. Mainly because when you don't have a sharpener on you, all you have to do is pull out the old blade and pop in the new one. I got the knife at Sportsman's Warehouse, but I know they do also have it on Amazon and possibly Walmart as well. Caribou is a very lean and healthy meat. It just has a lot of membrane and tendons, and that is what we are cleaning up now. The paper towel really helps be able to hold on to the meat better and be able to get everything off. There is quite a bit of meat that takes a lot of time to clean up just because of all the tendons and everything. So instead of spending a lot of time doing that, what I'll do is cut up the pieces into chunks and then make it into dog treats from a Rottweiler. And for our jerky, what I'll do is cut it into 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch slices and put it back into the salt water to let it soak longer and get rid of some of that gamey taste. Fun fact, reindeer are just domestic caribou. Now we are going to drain, rinse, drain again, and then have it soak for about another hour. And we're going to do the same for the dog treats. Now that the caribou meat has soaked, we are going to weigh it out so that way we know how much seasonings to add. Since I have a full deep freezer to go through, I will be using this cure and seasoning mix that I got at Sportsman's Warehouse. In the instructions, they have 2 types of seasoning charts. One is for whole muscle meat like mine, the other one is for ground meat jerky. I personally like to use the ground meat jerky because I like a little more flavor in my jerky. For this 3 pounds, we'll be using 2 tablespoons and 1 1/2 teaspoon of seasoning and 2 tablespoons of the cure. Then we will add a 1/4 cup of ice cold water for every pound, mix up the seasonings, and then put it in the bag. Then we'll shake, shake, shake until we get a nice even consistency like so. Now we will mix the 2 pounds with the pepper seasoning. 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of seasonings with 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of cure. Then we'll mix it all together for even consistency. Add 1/2 cup of ice cold water and mix it all together. Now we will let it marinate for at least 4 hours. I usually like to do mine overnight. While we wait, we'll make some dog treats. If you're like me, you really don't want to waste any meat. And since this is so tedious to clean, it is a perfect opportunity to make some dog treats. Now that all the meat is in there, we'll put on 155 for a few hours until it is completely dry. Alright, you ready for some caribou? You want some caribou? Oh, what do we got here? Nice little crispy treats. Oh, is that good? Yeah. Now that our jerky has marinated overnight, we are going to do the same process as we did with the dog treats. To make the final step easier, we are going to make sure the jerky is not overlapped for 2 reasons. 1, to avoid uneven drying, and 2, so that way they don't stick together at the end. Since I will be drying 2 different types of jerky, I will be making a gap in between them so that way I can tell the difference a lot easier at the end. Some people don't like drying different flavors together, but I have never had any issues. This dehydrator is kind of an older model. I actually found it in an abandoned storage unit that I was cleaning out. It was still brand new in the box, and then I had a friend give me a few extra trays. Now that we have all the meat in the trays, we are going to dry it for a few hours at 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that our meat has been in the dehydrator for a few hours, what we're going to do is separate what is finished and what needs to be dried a little longer, and separate what is finished and what needs to be dried a little longer, as well as by flavor. The meat sometimes sticks on the trays, so what I like to do is use a butter knife to sort of peel it up. Otherwise, you can also push it up from the bottom, and that works as well. For what needs to be dried longer, it doesn't really matter if you stack it up on top anymore. It has a nice hard outside. And this is our final product. If you have any recipes, feel free to share.